Hello and welcome to another video. So in this video, I wanted to talk about the question of, is it worth it to get into software engineering right now? If you don't have a job right now and you're studying, you're either in school, doing a boot camp, or you're self-taught, is it worth putting in all that effort and time to get into the industry? My short answer is yes, but it comes, as always, with a caveat. And that caveat is, are you going to be one of those people that stands out and puts all the odds in your favor of getting hired, or are you going to be average? And that really is going to be the defining factor as to whether or not you will be successful. So in the past few years, especially peak pandemic, there was a ton of hiring. And even just a bit before that, there was this whole learn to code meme, online. It was a hashtag, learn to code, because the tech industry had a supply shortage. There were not enough good skilled developers to come in and fill all the roles, and therefore salaries are high, and everybody's like, oh my goodness, I can just learn a few little things here and there and get a really good paying job. Those days are definitely over now. It is more competitive. There were massive layoffs because of the overhiring and the pandemic caused conditions of everybody being at home, staring at their devices, right? And browsing online, doing a ton of online browsing. So companies hired a ton of people. Things have gone back to normal. Those people have been laid off, along with broader economic conditions of rising interest rates. AI is being blamed for a bit of it. I don't really see how AI is replacing that many roles because it just isn't quite there yet. It could replace some tasks that junior roles have been doing, but those junior roles would then just be doing other stuff that AI isn't doing. So I don't really buy that AI is replacing things greatly just yet. But it is indeed harder to crack into the industry. So a little anecdotal evidence here. So myself, self-taught obviously, January of 2022 is when I first wrote my a line of code. It was in JavaScript. And I later got an internship in September of that same year. And that was just before the layoffs began. The layoffs really began in the fall of 2022 and even impacted the company that I was working at that time. But then I still managed to find jobs in 2023. I found 2 jobs, and in 2024 I found another job. So it's been very possible, even with very limited experience, to go out and find jobs. What's in my favor is I am in a niche. I'm in Ruby on Rails. Yes, it is a smaller ecosystem. When you look at the Stack Overflow or JetBrains surveys of most popular languages and frameworks, it's way down on the list. But I know it's tried and tested. It's been around a long time, and there's lots of companies using it, and there are companies that are starting off today still using it. And I know that it is a niche skill where mid and senior level are actually in quite decent demand, and it pays very well compared to other tech stacks. So do consider that when you're studying a tech stack, how much competition you are going to have. Okay, so back to the kind of bigger picture story here. Is it worth getting into? I think if you are going to just treat this like a part-time thing, I'm interested in that, I want a high-paying job, and hoping for the best, you are not going to succeed. If I was to put money on it, I would say you're not going to succeed. There's plenty of videos on YouTube right now, and I feel for these guys, but guys who are either have a couple years experience or have just finished their CSC program at university or college, and they cannot find any work because they didn't take it seriously. At least in 1 or 2 of these cases. I'm not saying everybody, 1 or 2 of these guys didn't take it seriously. Okay, you really have to want this, and I think the thing that's going to separate you from other people, hands down, is your work ethic and your drive to get what you want. For me, I had a relentless drive and self-belief that I would make it happen. There was no other option than success for me. And this translated into, yes, stress, because I put such a high bar on myself. However, it meant that I believed I would do it, and I would do everything that I needed to do to make that come true. So I studied every single day for hours. I networked the heck out of LinkedIn and Discord, etc., to find as many people and opportunities as I could. I studied hard, and I also thought outside the box and built something that most juniors or junior want to be developers do not build. And that is a production Ruby on Rails application that was serving a very small, simple, but real world problem. These things make you stand out. And my goodness, was it a lot of work. Building this app was the biggest project I'd undertaken in software, because I actually had to find a user, find a problem, and then figure out how to turn their needs into code, and then build the whole thing. I had people helping me with front end, design, wireframing. I had to figure out all the back end, wire it all up together, and then pitch this product or show the product to the end user, get them to test it, break things, change things, have requests, build those into it. It was exactly what you're doing as a real developer, and it was a lot of work. It's one of the hardest projects I've ever had to undertake in a let's say an intellectual capacity. But this made me stand out from everybody else out there and got me a job. So if you ask me that question, should I go into software? I would say yes, do it. But before you finally make that decision, ask yourself, do you really want this? Are you going to be that person who stands out from all the other people around you? And if so, why? What makes you different? Why are you going to stand out? And it will probably boil down to work ethic. Those people who are most successful in life have a good work ethic, and they are relentless in their pursuits. Is that you? Do you have those characteristics or qualities? And if you don't, will you employ those characteristics in your pursuit to become a software developer? If you tell me this, then I would say the world is your oyster, and you will go out there and you will become whatever you want to become, and you will be successful, because most people don't have that kind of gumption or will to do it. Okay, and that's really where I draw the line. I think to be mediocre is a risky pursuit in this industry right now. I'm still bullish on the industry. I still think that there's going to be lots of work, more work, in fact, as time goes on with AI. It's going to lower the barrier to entry with more companies coming online to serve more needs with AI, etc. There's just going to be more net software going to be written. And right now, you still need software engineers who have good fundamentals to guide and write that code and review that code before it goes into production. The biggest caveat here is AGI. If that comes along, then I think we have a bigger problem to solve here. I'm not so certain that AGI is going to come along anytime soon. Depends who you listen to. Always be wary of the incentives of the people that you listen to. And the people who are CEOs of these AI companies are bullish on it coming in the next couple of years. I don't believe it, because they are just trying to bolster, pump up, inflate the hype around AI for their investors and shareholders. I would listen to people who have less skin in the game, or less to benefit from by this kind of news. And they are a little less bullish, in fact more bearish on AGI and whether or not it's even possible with the current technology. So that's where my head is at. I'm not worried about AGI right now whatsoever. I know that the human is still very much needed in the development process. So I think there will be job security. I think there will be more software. The junior landscape is tough. The industry, who knows where that's going? It may start opening up to more juniors, because we will really be shooting ourselves in the foot if we don't, because tomorrow we will not have the mids and seniors that we need, because generally people only stay in this industry for 10 years or so. I think, I don't have the precise stats, but I do recall reading that the average tenure is around 10 years. People make enough money and then they leave, because it's like any other job, it starts to have its challenges over time. So, are you the kind of person that's going to go out there and be different from the rest because you have a goal and you are relentless in your pursuit to achieve that goal, and you have a very good work ethic, or at least you are willing to develop a strong work ethic? Then I would say go for it, because you will get that job and you will be a successful developer, or at least employee in tech. I can guarantee that, if you are that kind of person. If you're just dabbling at this, I'd say go for it if you're just curious and you want to learn some new skills. But I really think your chances of landing a job right now are quite slim. It's always possible, but you have to be able to think outside the box. And the two things I would really focus on, three things really. Learn the fundamentals is paramount, that's number one. Number two is network more than you've ever networked in your life. And number 3 is build something that is different from what everybody else is building. And the best way to do that is just build a small production scale application. Not production scale, but an application in production that is actually really used in the real world, which has there's some criticality in you getting it right, because if you don't, things will break and users will be upset and your app will be crap and no one will want to use it, right? It will show someone that you've actually gone through and done the work from idea all the way through to solution. And that's a very, very valuable asset when you're looking for a job. If you're not willing to do these things, you don't want to put that effort in, then I don't think this career path is the right one for you. You have to enjoy writing software and solving problems more than the average person if you want to be successful. Okay, yeah, that's it. I try not to be down and somber in these videos because, it's so easy to focus on the negatives of things all the time. I hope I come across as a realist, as somebody who's gone through this and saw just how bloody hard it was. It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, intellectually, was to transition from one career to another at the time that I did it. But I am so happy that I did it. I have no regrets. I'm so optimistic on the future. And I really want other people to be able to feel that as well. But I want to be real in how hard it is to get that, because the landscape is challenging right now for those people looking to get their first job. So here's to work ethic, setting goals, and relentlessly pursuing those goals. And good luck with that. I honestly really hope you do succeed and that you are self-aware and honest with yourself about how you feel about entering this industry and putting the work in for it. Okay, catch you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.